When I went up to light heavyweight, I followed in your footsteps and I went and consulted with 𝗪𝗍 Shieldstone in New Orleans. And 𝗪𝗍, you know, he's got the experience, but he's also working off of science too.
Right.
He says, first time I ever heard about a DEXA scan. He said, you got to get a DEXA scan. Went in there and that tells you bone density, body fat, all the stuff. And I kept telling him, I'm like, man, I'm going up to 75, I'm going up to 75. He said, you're not going up to 75, you're still cutting weight. He said, he said, you see the DEXA? You're 188. He said, you're cutting to make 175. And I just sat there for a second. I was like, dang, you right.
Exactly.
He said, you're not going up in weight. You're just not losing as much.
Exactly.
And he put it in perspective for me. And that's the same exact thing that's going on with Terrence Crawford. I don't know what he weighs, but if I had to guess, I think he for sure high 70.
Muscle is 87% water. When you gotta lose, the more muscle you have, the more water you need and the more oxygen you're gonna need in those later rounds and things of that nature. In football, everything is explosive. Boom, 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 boom. 3 seconds, 5 seconds at top, and then you huddle up and you get a rest. In boxing, you need white blood cells. You need to be a marathon runner, but you also need quick twitch with it. You got to be a wide receiver and a marathon runner all together. So that's the difference.
If you want to get better at boxing, you box. If you want to be a bodybuilder, you lift.
I'm still learning as well, so I'm finding out what works and what doesn't work. I'm working a lot smarter, not just hard.
You stay away from boxing. So if you lift weights all the time, you're gonna look really good like a movie actor boxer, Michael B. Jordan, but you won't be like a real fighter. You know what I'm saying? Go get any trainer in the world who tells me lifting weights all the time and boxing is a good idea. 9 to 12 more rounds of boxing drills and training every day, every week.
Yeah. I think we have real fun.
They need to understand how your oxygen is distributed by measuring your VO2, things like that. You can't do that at no gym. You can't do that at Crunch Fitness. You can't do that at LA Fitness. You got to be at a place, an institute that actually is focusing on performance training. It's not a game. This is professionals. These people got degrees, doctorates, and this is where, when I see that, I see a guy who's on the buddy system. My boy is a personal trainer. Exactly. He trains people personally. When you're talking about professional sports, you need someone who's in sports science, sports performance. If you're not even mentioning guys like 𝗪𝗍 Shieldstone, don't even talk to me. You don't know anything about getting in shape for a professional sport. These guys truly don't understand that. And when I see people cutting corners with who they pay because they just think they can get it the old school way, the buddy system, you deserve to lose a fight.
You know, Canelo's a motherfucking beast, you know what I'm saying? He an ox. Maybe I felt that more, but this is my first time in that weight division. I wish I could have gained a little bit more weight. You know, Canelo's a motherfucking beast, you know what I'm saying? He an ox.
I've been in countless boxing matches, and I can tell you firsthand that breathing is the secret weapon most fighters overlook. Now let's move on to diaphragmatic breathing. This is where you really want to focus on engaging your diaphragm to take deeper breaths. Place your hand on your stomach and feel it expand as you inhale and contract as you exhale. This technique allows you to take in more oxygen while using less energy compared to shallow chest breathing. I remember when I first started using this technique, it felt weird, but now it's second nature and it saved me in those grueling later rounds. Now that we've covered the basics, let's talk about some more advanced breathing techniques. First up, breath control drills. These drills are designed to simulate fight conditions and help you maintain your rhythm and composure even when you're under pressure. Exhale sharply when you throw a punch or during any exertion, like weaving. Then, inhale during lighter movements or when you're resetting. Timing your breathing with your movement is crucial for conserving energy and enhancing power delivery. Lastly, building your aerobic capacity through intermittent hypoxic training can make a huge difference. You can use tools like altitude masks, or include rounds of holding your breath while jogging or shadow boxing followed by active recovery. Trust me, these techniques have been game changers for me in the ring.
Now, whenever you're fighting, there are moments in the shell that you have to recover. So if my fighter is coming at me and I sit myself down, I sit down, I'm challenging him to throw a shot. Yeah, between this, I'm taking my breaths. I'm moving the legs. I'm walking around the floor. Let me over. Going this time, this is when I'm breathing. I'm taking my breaths. This is how you do it. You do this exercise. The minute, if you're in a clinch, the minute you separate, there's space between you. You walk behind the ref. You're taking your deep breath. And you exhale short, sparing bursts of oxygen, just a little bit at a time. Short little burst of oxygen. We want to make sure that you guys understand or have much more comprehension of sports science when it comes down to athletics and when you're working with your fighters. Canelo has a powerful left hook, so like most fighters, they run. But when you are at the highest levels of boxing, you got to learn how to go into the storm where it's the safest. So once Canelo decides to throw a jab, Crawford comes inside and starts to work and tie up and slide. Once again, it's constant movement, comes out here, look left, look right, reassesses, and moves around the ring, popping the jab and keeping Canelo guessing. It's not necessarily what you do, it's how you do it. There are methods that you use, like number one, that build muscle but not get bulky. Control eccentric training and touch, time under tension with more hyper training movements. Then you focus on the quick twitch muscle. And when you do it that way, that's what gives you that refined, shredded boxer look. You want to eat properly, you want to activate your muscles, and then you want to make sure that you recover. And those three things are all in battle ready. I'm going to leave it on the next page. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. There's a science in all of this. Cheers. Who are you?
It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan. No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.